What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am Trey Lance with Lance Buildings, and we worked yesterday, which was Monday. I was able to get some soffit and fascia on, got the eave trim on, but today we're going to try to tackle the roof. So there's a lot of sheets. It's 126 feet, I believe, long by 28 feet from peak to eave. So yeah, there's a lot to do in front of us. We got a busy day today. Busy day to tomorrow too. Trying to wrap this all up. So if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and just hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. But stay tuned. Watch as we knock out this roof. Up here, running our fascia, eave trim, and zip taping off the seam up here. But man, does that not look sharp at all. Clean as a whistle. Alright, so first thing we do is we get our roof steel. We get the bottom, all the sheets nice and plumb, perfect. And then we mark off. Since there's sheathing on the roof, we don't really have to worry about hitting the purlins, but we are. So we went ahead and measured, you can see, went ahead and measured where each purlin is. So that's where I made the mark for the sheets. And so they're going through and just pre-drilling for all of our screw holes. That way when you get on the roof, or even when you can see from the ground up there, all your screws are going to be perfect and aligned with each other. Instead of, I know there's some people that don't pre-drill their roofs and their screws look like this. So that's just an easy method of making things look really good. Starting the roof. The way we do it is we have a chalk line, and then we put our pre-mark, which we're moving this pre-mark down. It's got to get moved 1 inch down because we usually do a 2-inch overlap or 2-inch overhang, but we're only doing a 1 inch this time because the sheets were just a little bit too short up top. But anyways, so we get our bottom eave snapped above the chalk line, and then we have our pre-mark on our sheets. Once that meets there, we start our first sheet. We get it perfect all the way up the rake, and then we set it on the mark, screw the bottom in, put the second one on. Once this side is good, we have to pull or push the top over or in, and then once it's good, we start screwing. All right, we're a few sheets in. We got our new mark made straight on our chalk line. We are running perfectly. Alright guys, these are foam strips that we're using underneath the bottom of our steel. Bring your steel down, you line it up on the edge there. We have a mark here that goes on our chalk line, which we're perfect. And you screw it in. And then like this, if it's just a hair bit high, you can just lift your sheet up a little bit, pump it. It won't necessarily correct this sheet here, but it'll correct the next one. Just like that, we've got one sheet left. Just a little bit of screwing off to do. Just got the fascia and the rake. And man, oh man, there is no oil canning whatsoever. I don't know if you can quite see it all, but it looks good. Got that side done over there too. It is clean. Alright guys, this is how I am going to cut and bend my ridge caps. Mark 2 inches. These are a little bit bigger ridge caps than what we normally use. The roof steel got ordered just a hair bit short, so we ordered bigger caps to cover it. So anyways, 2 inches in, then take your 10 snips. You're going to cut at your peak here to your mark. You're going to cut right here to your mark. You're going to cut right here to your mark. And then you're going to just cut this tab right off. And then rinse and repeat on this side. Alright, now that those are done, it's a 412 pitch roof. So you can go ahead and just throw your square right there, right there. Make yourself 412. Cut that off. Then come down here. You're gonna bend these in right here, these little flabs. And then you can come in and just cut them off, just like that. Then next step is you're gonna grab yourself a bender and you are going to just bend these. You obviously want to bend the one that you did not 412 first. Once that's bent, alright, so just got the ridge cap in. It's just me and the little guy. A couple things. One, we screw every rib. I know some people screw like every other rib. But then the problem is it leaves this hump between ribs. If you screw every one, you still get a little bit of a hump, but it's a heck of a lot smaller. And it's not really noticeable from down below. On this one, we did do ridge venting. The peak is cut open. And then, yeah, we just overlap them. I try to overlap so that I know that our ribs are not matching up from side to side. Some people like to do that. To me, it's not a big deal. So I try to overlap so that the screw connects both pieces into a rib. So this piece here probably ended somewhere in here. This piece here ends right there. Connection there, connection there. All right, let's see if I can get this end here. Ooh, just up here doing it by myself. I don't know how the camera looks, but hopefully it's getting it. We got the two screws holding it all together. You got the nice seam that goes all the way down. So then something else that I like to do especially when you're up here doing it by yourself, solo, is putting your ridge caps in. So let's say right here, here's a seam. I put one screw in there, and then I run down and I find the chalk line. I put a screw there. Come to this side, put a screw there. Then come back, put it to the chalk line and put a screw. That way, because if you just put these two screws in and you're not on the chalk line over here, you're not going to be able to move that ridge cap back and forth. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I like to come back in the center and put two screws, because if you have a screw there and a screw 10 feet down, you're going to have this huge hump. And if you start screwing off, the hump's going to start moving one way or the other. And granted, it's not going to get off a ton, but it's going to create a lot of oil canning on the ridge cap. I mean, you're going to get some. You can kind of see a little bit there, but it's going to minimize a ton of it. So that's just, I don't know. It's a little trick that I do. I don't know if that'll help anyone.